Hello everyone, this is part 37 of What If Naruto Came Back to Claim His Family's Name, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Naruto sat behind his desk. A day had already passed since the meeting. So you're going to tell them now? Asked Sasuke as he appeared in the doorway. Yes, Kiba, Shikamaru and you already know, but now it is time for the rest to learn that the village is possibly only 2 days away from a war we will likely lose, said Naruto. I have never known you to look on the darker side of things, dupe, said Sasuke. How many hopeless battles have you fought? Too many, said Naruto, and a few of those were against you. And yet you're still around, said Sasuke. If there is one thing I've learned from fighting you, you always find a way to do the impossible. It is very irritating. Well, I am guessing you heard that our 2 children are now going out. Yeah, said Naruto, I knew it was only a matter of time. I mean, Kushina is my daughter, she will not give up on someone she loves. And she is like Sakura in her taste, said Sasuke with a grin as Naruto glared at his best friend. Hey, she did love me for years until she finally fell to you. Now I think we need to head to the council room, said Naruto. Dad, said Mai as ran up to her father, the Kyuubi. Mai, I am really sorry but I need to find a battlefield, said Kyuubi. Dad, wait, I have something you should hear, said Mia, maybe we don't have to fight. What do you mean? Asked Kyuubi. I have been talking to Saito the demon fox we have, said Mai. Why? He is our enemy at the moment, said Kyuubi. Dad, Mom told me about the peace offering you sent to the Quantum Fox's leader. Turns out that he never brought it to their council because they would accept it, said Mai. Saito says most of the Quantum Foxes just wanted freedom, not a war. I see, said Kyuubi as he moved one of his tails under his chin. What do you think we should do? Well, we could let Saito carry the message and make sure their council hears about it, said Mai. Mai, I agree with you but no, said Kyuubi as Mai just looked at her dad. What? Why? You just said you agree with me, said Mai. Yes, but council proceedings always go slow, the battle will happen before they can do anything, said Kyuubi, and that isn't covering the fact he may be lying. Dad, we have to try to stop this pointless battle, said Mai, and what would be the harm in sending him home? We can't kill him since he is our prisoner. But he will not be able to fight, said Kyuubi. Dad, one soldier may make the difference but it is worth the chance of not having the war to begin with, said Mai. I will think about it, Mai, said Kyuubi before he disappeared in a giant ball of flames. What? Yelled the Akamaki clan council seat. We are only 2 days away from war against an army of demon foxes that is stronger than all the others, said Naruto as he stood in front of the council. This is indeed troublesome, said Shikamaru. We are differently in check if not checkmate. According to Kyuubi, there are only a few options left open to us if we lose, said Naruto. We will either all be killed or the demon foxes will use as playthings in hunts. You brought this down upon us, said the Akamaki clan member. How? Asked Sasuke as he glared at the Akamaki clan head. It was the ice village that opened the demon gate, it would have happened either way. Slowly the man sat down. I will need to mobilize the entire ninja force for the battle in a few days, said Naruto. That is clear. How many deaths do you think we will get from this attack? Asked the head of the council, Kiba. If we lose, I doubt any of us will be coming back, said Naruto. This is an all or nothing fight. If we lose, we will not be coming back. So it is likely that whoever we send out isn't coming back, said Kiba. Yes, it's either we fight alongside the demon foxes against the quantum foxes on the battlefield or we fight them in the village streets with no help from the other foxes and villages because they will all be said Naruto. Also multiple other villages have decided to join us in this fight. So will you let me send the army out? I don't see how we have a choice in the matter, said Kiba. Either way we have to fight this army in the field where we stand a slim chance of winning or we watch them chaos all in our streets. Kiba looked around the room as the other council members started to raise their hands. Looks like you got your army. We will inform the different clans' councils while you inform the Jonin and Anbu before informing the rest of the village, said Kiba. Thank you, said Naruto as he walked out the door. Meanwhile Fugaku sat in indoor training field cleaning his sword. Suddenly his sister came walking through the door with a huge smile on her face. What are you so happy? Asked Fugaku. Well, I am going out to dinner with Kib tonight, said Liz, so do you have any idea where he would take me? Didn't you ask? Asked Fugaku. He just said he will be here around 6, said Liz as Fugaku looked at the cloak on the wall. You have 5 hours, you have time to go see him and ask, said Fugaku. Are you kidding? I need that time to get ready, said Liz as Fugaku rolled his eyes. Liz, who is Kib? Asked Fugaku. What do you mean? He has been your best friend for years? Asked Liz. I know, but what sort of man is he? Asked Fugaku. Think he isn't fancy, he likes things simple and doesn't like high maintenance things, and if you spend hours getting ready you will just turn him off. But I have to be perfect for him to give me a chance for a second date, said Liz as Fugaku grinned. Liz, I can only tell you this Kib hates people who act fake. Just be yourself and don't go over the top, said Fugaku as he stood up. Now I am going to go ask him because you're too afraid. It took only a few minutes for Fugaku to reach Kib's training field. I am guessing that Liz told you, said Kib as he stopped his training to look at his friend. Yeah, and I approach it that you didn't say how I forced you into this, said Fugaku, so where are you taking her? Just to the barbecue place near the park, said Kib. Seems simple and not that date-like, said Fugaku as Kib rolled his eyes. Okay, after supper a walk through the park there. Are you happy? Asked Kib. Yes, just be kind and give Liz a chance, said Fugaku as he disappeared in gust of leaves. Damn you, Chiha, said Kib as he went back to training. Fugaku reappeared, but it wasn't at his house. He walked up to the front door. He didn't even have to knock on the door before Kushina opened the door. Hello. Do I want to know how you knew I was here? Asked Fugaku with a grin as Kushina shrugged her shoulders. I just knew, said Kushina, so what brings you here? Apart from seeing you, said Fugaku, how would you like to get back at Kib for what he did? I am listening, said Kushina. Meanwhile Naruto had gathered all the upper-level Jonin. That is it, we are heading to war against the strongest enemy we have ever seen. We can only hurt them if the demon foxes hurt them first, said Naruto. Sir, are we taking the genin with us? Asked a Jonin. No, they are far from ready. The lowest we will go is Chunin. Even most Jonin are not ready for this fight, but we need them, said Naruto. Inform your teams. I am calling a village gathering at 5 to inform the village, but we need to be ready to go at a moment notice because we don't know where the battlefield is. I have it, said Kyubi as he appeared in a ball of fire. It is a small forest clearing in the southern land of Fire Country, a 1/2-day march. I see. Can you send messages to the other cages? Asked Naruto. It's already done, said Kyubi. Thanks, said Naruto. Now all I have to do is inform the village. Can't help you out there, Kit, said Kyubi before he disappeared in a ball of fire. So where is he taking me? Asked Liz as Fugaku walked through the door. The barbecue place, said Fugaku. That isn't romantic, said Liz. That is why I talked him into a walk through the park under the stars, said Fugaku as Liz smiled. That is more like it, said Liz. I better get ready. Ready for what? Asked Sasuke as he walked in. Well, Dad, I have a date tonight with Kib, said Liz with a smile. Well, Naruto is calling a mandatory village gathering, said Sasuke as Liz's eyes widened. What? He can't not tonight? What is so important that he has to call a mandatory meeting? Said Liz. Liz, mandatory meetings mean that everyone including Kib will have to go. You can go out once the meeting is over, said Fugaku, but why is he calling the meeting father? You will find out when you get there, said Sasuke as he walked toward his wife's garden. 5 rolled around a lot sooner than Naruto would have liked. He walked up to the top of the Hokage building in his full robes. As he looked out over the large gathering of villagers, everyone went silent. I thank you for taking time out of your day to come to this important meeting, said Naruto. I have come to inform you of a peddling attack on this village. I know you are asking which ninja village would be so bold as to attack us. The truth is it isn't another village. What is he talking about? Asked Fugaku as he stood next to Kushina in the crowd. You will see, said Kushina as she lowered her head. We are going to be attacked by an army of demon foxes, said Naruto as everyone's eyes widened. See, millions of years ago the demon foxes had a war. In a last bid to take victory from the defeat, the Kyuubi's grandfather sealed a group of foxes away. The seal holding these foxes was broken by the hidden ice village 4 years ago. In accordance to the laws of the demon foxes, they announced their coming at the Sand Chunin exams, warning the other foxes of a pending war. Now that time is up, and in 2 days a war for the very survival of not only our village but for humanity itself. I want everyone to understand what is going to happen. Now these foxes are called the Quantum Foxes and are being led by the 10-tailed fox, and like all demon foxes they are immortal to all human attacks. However, just recently we learned that if they are wounded by another demon fox then they can be hurt by us. That is our only chance. Only by working with the other demon foxes and other villages do we stand a chance against the other demon foxes. Now go spend time with your family. You knew about this? Asked Fugaku as he looked at Kushina. Since the Chunin exams, said Kushina, I wasn't allowed to tell anyone. Dad didn't want to start a panic. Kushina, is this true? Asked Liz as she ran up to her best friend. Yeah, said Kushina. Why didn't you tell us? Asked Liz. Her dad didn't want you guys to feel burdened by this, said Sasuke as he and the rest of their family came up. That is why I and your mother didn't tell you either. You knew this too? Asked Liz as she looked at her father. Just go out and enjoy your date, be a 16-year-old kid, and we will worry about the war in the morning, said Ino. But your curfew is still 1, said Sasuke. Why am I doing this? Thought Kib as he walked toward the Uchiha front door. I should be training for this battle. There will be plenty of time for dates after we win the battle. If we lose, a date will not matter. Before he even reached the door he was greeted by Sasuke Uchiha. Sir, said Kib as he stood in front of one of the strongest ninjas in the village. You don't want to be here, do you, Kib? Asked Sasuke. I am guessing that my son is forcing you into this. Correct, but I gave him my world. I would give your daughter a chance, and that is what I am going to do, said Kib. That is all fine, but if you hurt her, said Sasuke as his Sharingan turned on and started spinning, you will have to deal with me, do you understand? I understand, sir, said Kib. Good, have a good time, said Sasuke as he disappeared. Kib shook his head and headed toward the door. Saito, I have to ask you something, said Mai as she walked around the cage. What? Asked Saito as he watched the young vixen walk around his cage. How long would it take for you to gather your council and inform them about our peace offering? Asked Mai. We don't do politics that well, it will be short and brutal, said Saito. We don't talk that much. I see, said Mai as she placed her tail under her chin like her dad does when he thinks. What are you thinking about? Asked Saito. So Kib, are you worried about this? Asked Liz as she sat across from Kib in the barbecue place. About what? Asked Kib as Liz glared at him a bit. You know, the war? Asked Liz. I feel that it is going to be a fight, said Kib. Okay, now what do you really think? Asked Liz as Kib was taken back by her. She always just agreed with me, so why is she fighting with me now? Thought Kib. I personally feel that it is going to be a life or death battle, and that is why I feel that I should be training instead of being her. To his surprise, Liz didn't break out in tears. Instead, she just sat there. I see, so why did you ask me out in the first place if you feel that way? Asked Liz. Let me guess, my brother. Yes, said Kib. He made me promise to go out on a date with you to make it up for tricking him and Kushina. Then go and train, said Liz as Kib's eyes widened. You always wanted a date with me, so why are you telling me to leave? Asked Kib. I always wanted to be here with you, said Liz, but I want you to be just as happy as me to be here, not forced against your will. Basically, I want to earn this date, not have it given to me. What are you doing, Liz? Thought Fugaku as he and Kushina stood on a roof of a nearby building. You realize that they have been on more dates than us, said Kushina. Yeah, sorry, but I have to give my sister a chance to earn his heart, said Fugaku. I wasn't complaining, said Kushina as she moved some of her hair behind her ear. Besides, a date is what a person makes of it, and dinner under the stars is a good start. What dinner? Asked Fugaku as a clone of Kushina appeared carrying bags. Romam, anyone? Asked the clone. Why am I not surprised? Said Fugaku as he took one of the food containers out of the bag. Kushina took out her own before the clone disappeared. Both teens leaned up against the wall watching what was happening below. Saito, do you have any family besides your father? Asked Mai. Not really, my mom SD when I was 4 giving birth to my sister, but she SD as well. My father never got over my mother's death, said Saito. My mom SD before I was even born, said Mai as Saito raised an eyebrow. My parents were expecting pups before me and my brother. My dad went out to hunt and she was attacked by ninjas. She was killed but the seal kept her alive until she found a new body. I see, well I am not that lucky for that to work, the mate has to be there at death and my father wasn't there, said Saito. My father and mother didn't get along that well, it was an arranged mating. They banned that over 3 million years ago, said Mai. Difference in culture, said Saito. Do you have an arranged mate? Asked Mai as Saito raised an eyebrow. No, that is one of the few things I am happy about my father did. He hated it so he removed that law, said Saito. Why do you ask? Just wondering, said Mai as she wrapped her tail around her feet nervously. I see, said Saito, she does look a little cute. Liz was about to stand up when Kib grinned. How about this, we eat then do some night training? Said Kib. How do I know this isn't you trying to keep your word to my brother? Asked Liz. Because training can be boring alone and your brother is too busy making out with Kushina on the roof, said Kib as he pointed out the window. Liz turned on her Sharingan to see though the darkness outside. Kib was right on the rooftop. Kushina and her brother were making out. I guess they came to put us together, said Liz. Yeah, said Kib as he stood up. Come on, let's do a little training and then we can take that walk under the stars. Sounds good, but I didn't bring my sword, said Liz. And I didn't bring my dog, so we will call it even, said Kib. All right, said Liz as she stood up. Kushina's heart was racing as she kissed Fugaku. This feels so good, thought Kushina as she felt Fugaku pull her closer. I will never leave this place. You know I could pull you both in for public indecency, said a bug-masked Anbu as Kushina and Fugaku jumped apart and turned toward the Anbu squad. Sorry sir, said Kushina with a deep bush. Under the mask Shino was grinning at the looks on the two teens' faces. Well, looks like the Hokage's daughter and the police chief's son are an item, said an Anbu before the Anbu captain turned toward him. Sorry sir. Now since this is the first time I have caught you, I feel a verbal warning and fine, said Shino under his mask. Thank you sir, said Fugaku. However, I will still have to file a report about this, but I feel we can leave out the fact that Mr. Uchiha's hands were on Miss Namikaze's back under the shirt, said Shino. Do you agree with me, squad? I am fine with it sir, said another Anbu as the others nodded. Good. Now I suggest you two head home. We don't know when we will head out to do battle. You two can carry on what you were doing later, when you're older, ordered Shino as Kushina and Fugaku disappeared. Young love, makes me wish I had found someone, said Shino. All right, back to portal. Meanwhile, Liz and Kib were in the middle of a fight. Liz jumped from tree to tree throwing the few kunai she had brought with her at Kib, who was knocking him down with his sharp claw-like nails. Is that all you got, woman? Said Kib as Liz's eyes narrowed. She grabbed her last 2 kunai and jumped down, her Sharingan blazing. For a moment Kib was stunned at the strength of Liz's attacks. It was strange how her fighting style was different than Fugaku. Even though both had been trained by Sasuke, Liz's style was all her own. Truth be told, he had never really fought against her. He thought she would hold back because of her love for him and he didn't want to deal with that. However, he was wrong. She was keeping him on the defensive. Kib sent his fist flying into Liz's face. However, as he hit her, she disappeared in a cloud of smoke. A clone. It seems that I underestimated her, thought Kib as he sniffed the air trying to find Liz scent. To his surprise, he couldn't find it. Liz always wore that smelly fruity perfume that made him sick, but now he couldn't find it. Now that I think about it, I couldn't smell it though. Dinner, maybe she finally got rid of it. Now where is she? His answer came when he heard a swishing sound. He turned around just in time to see Liz with 2 kunai in her hands, only inches away from him. Kib sent his fist flying into Liz's gut. Liz's eyes widened for a bit before she passed out. However, her forward movement sent Kib to the ground with her on top his head, hitting a small rock, making him pass out as well. For a moment Kib didn't know what happened. All he knew was there was an ever so light pressure on his body. It felt nice. Then there was the smell. His clan was known for having a great sense of smell, but even he couldn't pick out what this smell was, but whatever it was nice. Slowly he opened his eyes to see a mass of blonde with black in the back. Liz Uchiha was passed out on top of him. Kib couldn't help but smile as he looked at how natural she looked, not like all those fangirls that spent hours getting ready just to meet him. Maybe I should give you a chance, Liz Uchiha, said Kib as he started to wake the young Uchiha up. Saito, I have one more question and please don't lie to me, said Mai. Very well, said Saito. If I let you out, would you go to your council and tell them about our peace offering? Asked Mai as Saito's eyes widened. Won't you get in trouble? Asked Saito. Yeah, that will be an understatement, but it would be worth it if it saves the lives of everyone who would in a war, said Mai. So what do you say? Do you promise to tell your council about our peace offering? I promise, but understand my father does have supporters on the council, it may not matter, said Saito. I will take that risk, said Mai as she reached up with a tail and broke the seals holding back Saito's demon fox chakra. Slowly the gate opened and Saito walked out of the cage. He stopped just in front of Mai. Thank you, said Saito. You're welcome, but hurry, you only have 24 hours until the war begins, said Mai as Saito nodded his head. They will ask how I got out, said Saito. Just tell them some stupid vixen felt sorry for you, said Mai. Is that all you felt? Asked neither Saito as he did something neither he nor Mai had expected. Her leaned forward and rubbed the side of his face against Mai's cheek. Mai closed her eyes and let out a low purr, as Saito smiled at the sound of the young vixen's purr from his action. I guess not, said Mai. Now get going before you are caught, Barker. Saito nodded as he formed a ball of black chakra around himself and disappeared in time and space. On the roof of a nearby building, Mai's mother, Sakura, watched everything. She turned to see her mate walking up to her. I hope you were right in letting her do this, said Kyubi. He is the son of the 10-tailed demon fox. Yes, but love changes foxes just as much as they change humans, said Sakura. Besides, Saito reminds me of you when we first meet. I mean, your father didn't like me because my great-grandmother was a quantum fox. Well, he was an idiot. You can't judge someone because of what type they are, said Kyubi. Then why are you judging Saito? Said Sakura. Have faith in your daughter. Sister, what have you done? Asked Fogo as Mai stood in front of family the next morning. I did what I felt was right and that is all I am going to say, said Mai. Sis, you just gave them back another soldier and that soldier may make the difference, said Fogo. Son, it's okay, said Kyubi as Fogo looked at his father. One soldier may make the difference, but if he can force a peace then it will be worth it. Thanks father, said Mai. But you still in trouble, said Kyubi. We will deal with this after the war. Hopefully they will not be a war, said Mai. Meanwhile Saito appeared beside his father. Saito, asked Sakito, the 10-tailed quantum fox. Sir, I am sorry for being captured, said Saito as he bowed his head to his father. You should be, but how are you here? Asked Sakito. Simply put, father, the weakness of a vixen, said Saito before laughing a bit. I think she actually fell in love with me. I see, young vixens tend to weak-minded, said Sakito with a grin. Have you learned anything? Yes, they are going to send everything they have, including human forces, from most of their sediments, said Saito. Their plan is to have the foxes hurt us, giving an opening for the humans. I see. Anything else? Nothing that important, sir, said Saito. Very well, we'll be moving out in an hour, so prepare yourself, said Sakito as Saito lowered his head. I will be, sir, said Saito as he turned and walked away. Son, said Sakito as Saito turned around. Yes, father, said Saito as his father walked up to him. Tell me, who was this vixen? Asked Sakito. It was the Kyubi's daughter, Mai, said Saito as Sakito raised an eyebrow. I see. How do you feel about her? Asked Sakito. I would be lying if I said she wasn't beautiful, but she is our enemy, said Saito as his father grinned. I see. Maybe we can arrange something if she survives the war, said Sakito as Saito looked at his father. I thought we were going to kill all those who stand against us, said Saito. Son, one thing I need to teach you about ruling with fear is to threaten a lot harder than you deliver. Our people can't populate our realm, the demon fox realm, and this one by ourselves, said Sakito. No, we kill a lot of them but spare the rest will not rise up because they will be happy just to be alive. I see, father, said Saito. Good. Now prepare yourself, said Sakito as his son walked away. Weakling, said Sakito as soon as his son was out of hearing range. You know he knows about the deal they offered, said his top general. I know, but I am counting on him being like his weakling mother, he will more worried about his vixen, said Sakito. I made him happy just by giving this Mai a chance of life that he will do nothing to risk that. However, send out an order to our assassin group, during the battle find AK this Mai. Of course, sir, said the general. Good. I do not want my bloodline dirtied by some weakling firefox, said Sakito. So did you have fun? Asked Fugaku as his sister looked up from the garden their sister and their mom all worked on to grow. And I bet you and Kushina had fun making out on the roof, you two didn't do anything, did you? Asked Liz as she noticed her brother Bush a bit. No, said Fugaku, but we were interrupted by an Anbu squad, so who knows how far our emotions would have taken us. But you wanted to, didn't you? Asked Liz with the classic Uchiha grin on her face. I love making him squirm. Said Fugaku as he tried to think of a way out of the question. You two better be getting ready to move out, the entire ninja force leaves in 2 hours. Yelled Ino from the kitchen. Well, brother, looks like you will have to wait for a while, said Liz, besides imagine how dad would react. Not well, said Fugaku with a grin, and Kushina's dad would react the same way. Now we better get ready. Meanwhile, Naruto sat at his office looking over the last bit of paperwork before moving out in 2 hours. In a couple of minutes he would head home to spend time with his family before going into battle. Suddenly a knock came from the door. Enter, said Naruto as Sasuke walked in. How are you doing, Jupe? Asked Sasuke as he sat down across from his friend. You know how I am doing, said Naruto. You're worried out of your mind about things you can't control, said Sasuke. Yeah, I mean this isn't just sending a squad out, this is sending out everyone we have, said Naruto. Well, no one said this job was going to be easily, said Sasuke before grinning, but to make this battle easier I am going with you guys. Sasuke, you know that village council members cannot go into the battlefield, said Naruto. Well, since Ino is staying in Sakura's place to run the hospital, I named her to be the clan leader, said Sasuke. If I come back she will name me the clan head. This way I can make sure my kids are safe. I can't stop you, can I? Asked Naruto. No, said Sasuke, Minuto is doing the same so he can go. Well, looks like original Team 7 is getting back together, said Sai as he walked into office. Sai, is something up? Asked Naruto. No, sir, said Sai, we are ready to move out. Good, now let everyone go home and spend time with their family and loved ones, said Naruto. Yes, sir, said Sai as he walked out of Naruto's office. Shouldn't you do the same? Asked Sasuke as he also walked out of Naruto's office. A couple of seconds later Naruto put down his pen and disappeared in a flash of golden light and headed home to spend time with his family. Sakura knew her husband was there before he opened his door. The Kyuubi had explained that since she and Naruto were mates their fox senses were keyed into each other. So how long do we have? Asked Sakura as Naruto sat on the couch. 2 hours until we move out and the battle begins at sunrise tomorrow, said Naruto as Sakura sat beside him. Well, your uncle is going to keep an eye on the boys and Sire and Ino has promised me if, said Sakura with tears in her eyes. I know, Sakura-chan, said Naruto as he put his arms around his wife. Well, Sasuke is coming with us. I know Ino was upset about it but understanding, said Sakura. Sire is very worried and the boys want to go. I can believe it, said Naruto. I should go talk to them. Yeah, said Sakura. Meanwhile Kushina sat on top of her father's stone head looking out over the village, the wind gentle blowing through her hair. You can come out, Fugaku-kun, said Kushina as Fugaku appeared beside her. You know your ability to know where I am is scary, said Fugaku. My said it has to do with my fox senses, said Kushina as Fugaku raised an eyebrow. Basically I think of you as a mate and my senses are highly in tune to you. That is how I was able to track you down when that thing with Itachi happened. I see, said Fugaku with a smile. Did you see your father's assignments? Yep, Yumi. Listen, Kiba in the second wave of Jonin, said Kushina calmly. We go in right after the Anbu lead by Dad and the elite combat foxes lead by the Kyubi. Odds are not in our favor, said Fugaku. I know, said Kushina, I wish those dumb foxes would just leave us alone. We have done nothing to them. I know, said Fugaku, we are going into battle against an enemy that possibly has us outnumbered and differently outmatched. It seems mad. It is, said Kushina. No, it isn't, because we can't fall back. If we retreat, the foxes will lose the war and then the village will be destroyed, followed by every last human being hunted down. Said Fugaku, we are on sly ground, and on that ground even a common soldier can do uncommon deeds. It isn't the size of the dog in the fight, it is the size of the fight in the dog. Is that what you mean? Asked Kushina. Basically, said Fugaku as he sat down next to Kushina and placed an arm around her shoulders, we will be fighting for not only our lives but the lives of everyone we hold dear. With that he kissed her forehead. Dad, we are ninjas, we can fight, said Altair as he sat beside his brother. I know that, but you two are far from ready for this, said Naruto, so are a lot of the people going. Look boys, I am not going to lie to you, you're ninjas now, and the truth is more than likely we are going to lose this war, and likely most if not everyone who leaves on this mission will s. You can't s Dad, you're the Hokage, the strongest ninja in the world, said Minato. Everyone have their time son, said Naruto, I am not invincible and someday you two will be stronger than me. It is one of the strengths of the Leaf Village, every generation is stronger than the last. Then we can help, stated Altair. Believe it, we can kick some evil fox ass, said Minato as Naruto smiled as he looked at his boys. These two really are just like me, thought Naruto, how many times did I get myself almost killed doing something crazy? Boys, you are just not ready, but in time you will be, said Naruto as he pulled his boys into a huge and fought back tears. This may be the last time I hold my boys. Minato, Altair, I want you two to promise me something, said Naruto. Sure thing Dad, said Altair as Minato nodded his head. If anything happens to me, your mother and Kushina, that you will take good care of yourselves and your sister, said Naruto. Nothing will happen to you Dad, but yes we promise, said Minato as Altair nodded his head. Naruto, said Sakura as she appeared in the door, it's time the Anbu squads head out in 10 minutes. I see, said Naruto sadly, now boys keep to your word and I love you both. We love you to Dad, said both Minato and Altair. Naruto felt another pair of arms wrap around him. He looked over to see his little girl Saya. I love you too Daddy, said Saya as Naruto smiled as he embraced her as well. I love you too Saya, said Naruto. Meanwhile Kushina appeared next to Sakura in the doorway. Mom, what are we waiting for? Asked Kushina as she stepped into the room to join the family hug. Sakura was right behind her. All 6 Namikas just sat there in a huge hug, just enjoying what could be their last moment together as a family. Suddenly a click filled the air. All of them looked up to see their uncle out off greet Uncle Altair Namikas standing there with a camera in his old hands. I couldn't let a moment like this pass by, said Uncle Altair. Naruto, I know we have to get going, said Naruto as he slowly broke the hug. Wish us luck you guys, said Kushina as she disappeared in a flash of light. I love you all, said Sakura as she kissed her kids before disappearing in a flash of pink light. I love you too, said Naruto as he turned to his old uncle. Keep an eye on them. I will, said Altair, and Naruto know this, no matter what happens I know your father would be proud of what you have done. Thanks, said Naruto as he turned one last time to his 3 younger kids. All 3 had tears in their eyes. Goodbye. With that he disappeared in a flash of light. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.